Hey guys, welcome. How's everybody doing today? There we go. We got the camera going. Mimi, thanks for being here. Excited. Excited for today. Who's excited for this topic? How to structure partner deals is what we're going to be talking about today. This is one of the things that can catapult your real estate investing faster than anything else. One of the very first deals I did was a partnership deal, and I wouldn't have been able to do it otherwise. And it really made the difference of me being able to get into real estate and get to the next level so much quicker. Because when we talk about partnership deals, we're going to get in some detail on this, but I'm going to talk about how you can use a partner to help you get to the next level. Lots of times you're lacking something. It may be time, it may be money, it may be experience. And this is how can you get someone else that has those things to help you get to the next level and they get a benefit, you get a benefit, everybody wins in that type of scenario is really what we're going for. So Resale, thanks for being here as well. Excited to have so many of you with us today as we jump into this how to structure partner deals. Okay, let's just jump right into this. How to structure partner deals is what we're chatting about today. What you're going to walk away with is why you need a partner. We're going to talk about different types of partnerships and how to structure them. We're going to talk about the benefits that partners actually get in doing this. And at the end of today, you're going to get our motivated seller worksheet. So if you stay to the end, I'm going to give you our motivated seller worksheet. This is fantastic as you have leads coming in and you're talking to people. You can ask questions. You can print these off, keep them in the car, wherever you're at, and write them out as you get phone calls from your marketing efforts. And we'll give you a link to download this at the end. Our free gift to you, we'll be giving away that link at the end so you can get a free copy of that. So check it out. Jonathan Murphy says, hey, thanks for being here, Jonathan. Excited you're with us. And this show's for entertainment purposes only. Before making any financial moves, consult with a real estate professional, attorney, CPA, or other professionals in the specific subject matter. Everybody's situation is different. There's no one size fits all. DHM may receive payment on the show for sponsorships, guests, and forms of books, giveaways, items, discounts, or other mediations. As with anything in life, results come from education, following a system, hard work, and determination to follow through until the end. All right, welcome. For those of you who haven't followed the example of Mimi, Roche, Jonathan, Murphy, please type in your name and the state and city that you're investing in. Actually, Mimi's from Georgia. Roche's from Georgia. Georgia's representing today. Jonathan, not sure where you're at. Please let us know where you're investing. And for all the rest of you out there, give us your name and where you're investing. Love to know. I tailor a lot of things that I'm doing to different regions and areas and love to do that. And if you are not joining us live today, you can join us live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be here every week. We do this live cast and talk real estate investing. For those of you that are joining live, the benefit that you have is this amazing chat feature right here. You can't even see it. When you type in anything in that chat, I am going to respond to it, like just barely. Max said, April in Ohio. All right. Jonathan is in Greer, South Carolina. Ryan is in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Thanks for being here, Ryan. We love Louisiana. We do a lot of stuff there. Jacqueline is from Dallas, Texas. Next week, I'm going to be doing a thing in Dallas specifically, so you're going to want to check that out, Jacqueline, for next week's live cast. Hardy from New Jersey, Haiti. Am I saying that right? Haiti from New Jersey. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm dyslexic if you didn't know. Okay, shirt giveaway. We're going to be giving away a shirt, but actually for next week, we're not going to be doing a shirt giveaway. For next week, I've got a DHM beanie that we're going to be giving away. And maybe you can see that. Super awesome. Amazing beanies. They've got the killer liners inside. These things are dope. I'll send one your way. And then I also have a scarf to go with it. So next week, I'm going to be giving that away for next week's. But today, at the end of today, we're giving away, I made it through a rehab shirt. So we'll be announcing that winner today. We'll be getting this as well as a Do Hard Money mask coming your way. So that's what we'll be giving away at the end of this. You'll know that was last week's winner. But for next week's winner, we're going to be giving away the beanie and the scarf. If you like the beanie, let me know. Type it in the comments. I'd be really interested if you what you think of it. And by the way, for our previous winners that we sent some swag out to, I really want some pictures. So please take a picture with you wearing the swag or whatever the case is. And post it, put it on social media, email it over to us, whatever the case is. We'd love to see you. Our team loves seeing customers with our swag, so we love it. So at the end of the call or the end of the live cast, I'm going to be announcing who won last week. And if you would like to win next week and get that beanie and the scarf, ask great questions. Leave comments. You can do that right now. If you have some questions on this topic matter of partners or anything else in investing, type it in the comments, because what we do is our team looks at it and says, hey, who had great interaction? Who is leaving comments? Who left comments on the recorded video? Like Don just left a comment saying, love the beanie. Who's done that? And that's who we want to put as our swag winner, our t-shirt winner, our beanie winner of the week. That's what we want to be doing. So if you want to be that winner, type it in, because every single week we choose one person, and that person is our winner of the week. And who knows, maybe it'll be Dawn, because she likes the beanie so much. Looks like she's the only one that likes the beanie, so that might be an easy one. I don't know. If you like the beanie, put it in the comments. If you like these live casts, and you want to see them keep going, because there's a ton of work that goes into this, making it happen, pulling it off. We've got multiple people. John helps us on these. We've got Jordan that helps us out on these. I put the content together and be here. We've got a film studio where we make all this happen. I mean, this is just not an easy production. So I really need your help. If you'd like to see these continue, right now we're at 4,635 subscribers. Those are people that have hit the button, said, hey, I want to be part of this community. I like what you guys are doing in real estate investing. And my goal is by the end of February, I want to be to 4,710 subscribers by the end of February. That's my goal, is to get there. So that means I've got 75 new subscribers that I'm looking for. And I'm certainly hoping that you'd be one of them if you're new with us today. So if you're new with us, which I think Ryan Brooks, I think you're new with us. Mimi, I think you're new. Let's see here. April, I think you're new as well. So any of you guys and gals, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to do that. What I do for you is every day I do a small video. It's usually 5 minutes, give or take, about a specific topic. We call it a Just Ask Ryan question of the day. So like, how accurate are AVMs, or how to buy real estate tax liens? I'm always asking those questions and getting those questions. And if you have a question, if you watch one of these short Just Ask Ryan videos, if you type it in the comments, then I will actually answer that for you and for everybody else that is our subscribers, and you'll get a copy of that and can listen to the video on that. So every day we're coming up with a new video that you can watch about a specific thing. It's a quick 5-minute. It's a great way to get more knowledge of real estate investing and how to take it to the next level. So check that out. And the best way to do that is hit the thumbs up button as you watch those. Make sure you're a subscriber. By the way, if I have anybody on the live cast right now that is just subscribed to our Do Hard Money channel, please type it in the comments. I just subscribed. Who knows? Maybe that'll win you the beanie this week. I don't know. I got a few people that are saying they love the beanie as well. Jacqueline is saying the beanie is awesome. I'm new. Jacqueline, please be a new subscriber for us. Tony Roberts is new, maybe? New. Okay, gotcha, Tony. And looking forward to learning. All right, Jacqueline, we're looking forward, and you've got a great last name, by the way. So hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe, and the other really cool thing to do is this bell notification. What's cool about that is anytime I go live, you'll get notified by YouTube that I'm going live. The other thing I have to tell you, if you want to win this cool beanie, one of the things I really look for is I look for comments on the recorded video. You see, after we do this live, like we're doing right now, and having this great conversation with Jacqueline and Tony and Don and Doug and Nikea and Haiti and let's see, Ryan and Jonathan and Max and who else we got in here? JM and Roche and Mimi and so many others that are too shy to say hello, who I'd love to have come say hello. One of the cool things that I look for is after this, I love to have you go make some comments on the recorded video, because this, once it's done being live, gets posted on YouTube and will stay there, and you can go in and type in, hey, I like this, or give me some feedback on the things you like on that, which is really, really big. And that's one of the things I'm looking for as we give the shirts and that type of stuff to help grow our community, grow our channel and those things. So if you like it, leave a comment. And most importantly, tell someone else about it. That's one of the things that we were really looking for. A great comment. Rich Beyond Our Means says, great content here. Most people probably aren't familiar with these terms and this information. Keep these videos coming. I am following. I really appreciate it. Let me get a few comments I've got coming here. Okay, looking forward to learn. How long is the class? It depends. It's somewhere between 30 minutes and an hour. We've been typically more on the 45 to 50 minute side. Today, I think we may be closer to the 40-minute side. I don't know. It depends on what questions get asked, but no more than an hour. Jonathan says, will you be talking about partners that provide just cash as the other partner manages the project? Yes, we will, Jonathan. We're going to talk about partnering with contractors, partnering with cash partners. We're going to be talking about partnering with credit partners that don't have it but have good credit. They can turn that into cash. We're going to be talking about all different partnerships. And if there's something else you'd like to know, type it in the comments and we're going to chat about it as well. Heidi says hello. Jacqueline says, I also just subscribed. Jacqueline, thank you. I really appreciate you being one of our newest subscribers. So thanks for being part of the community. Keep the comments rolling, guys and gals. We are going to jump into our real estate market update. For those of you that are new with us, we do a real estate market update. We do a finding technique of the week. So every single week we're talking about a different way to find properties, and then we go into a topic of the week that's a specific topic. It may be finding, it may be business partners, whatever the case is, and that's kind of our main headline. Then we do our shirt giveaways. Then we actually give away one of our free gifts, which is today is our motivated seller checklist or script. You can use that, and then we talk about some topics for future live casts. So that those are the types of things. So that's kind of the flow of what we do every single week in this live cast. You're going to love it. Thank you for being here. Okay, real estate market update. This is really interesting, guys. This is probably the first place you've seen this. This is the top U.S. zip codes with highest home flipping rates. This is the actual zip codes of where the most flips are taking place. And if you are in or near these zip codes, this is where you should be doing some marketing to. If you watch some of my other videos, I actually show you how you can find this same data and do marketing to these people, because where the most flips are taking place, where the most cash buyers are actually buying properties, that's the areas that you actually want to be marketing to. So I find this really interesting. We do some stuff in New Jersey, East Orange, New Jersey. I find that interesting. Memphis, Tennessee. I find that interesting. Los Angeles. That's crazy. Most flips. New York, Pennsylvania, and Tennessee. That's where we're seeing some of the most flips. The question I have for you is, do you know where the most flips are happening in your area? What zip codes are having the most fix and flips? If you don't, you need to spend some time figuring that out. And if you're one of our members, you can use Investor's Edge to help you with that. Otherwise, it's going to take a lot of work, but you need to know that, because if you're going to go fishing, you want to fish where people are catching. You don't just want to fish where nobody's catching anything. So if you market and do things in the area where there's the most activity, that means you're going to have the higher likelihood of having success. And I find that this is one of the things that a lot of people mess up on early, is they start marketing in the wrong areas. They don't have great success. They get frustrated and then they give up, which is the worst thing you could possibly do. And so this is really interesting to know and be aware of. Let's see here. Very interested in partnerships with other investors. We have about 50 rehab flips under our belt and looking for more. All right, Douglas, let us know as well. We can help you out. East Orange, we have done down a handful there. Townships, officially a little tough to say the least. Man, I'm dealing with one of those, where the city township's a pain, where they've got to approve everything. Oh, geez, that can be a pain. Jacqueline, Texas has a lot. Fantastic. Clifton Rogers, how you doing, man? We haven't seen you in a while, Cliff. Appreciate you being here. I got to grab a drink. We're getting dry. Okay. Economic outlook on the real estate market on fire. We're just seeing that everywhere, right? Housing market stays tight as homeowners stay put. The idea is there's just not as much demand. There's a huge demand, not enough supply. We're seeing homeowners staying in place for 13 years, which hasn't been the case in prior years. 2010, it was 8.7 years is how long a homeowner was staying in their house. That's also good information if you're going to do some marketing. If somebody hasn't been in their house for 10 years, even if they have equity, you probably don't want to be marketing to them. Home builders, results of KBH released Tuesday, 42% increase in contracts in Q4 over Q3. That is huge. That's the best contracts they've ever had since 2005. Home Builders Senior Vice President and Chief Economist of the National Home Builders Association says record highs. We expect gains for all single-family construction, albeit a little lower growth rate than 2019. All right, let's see here. Right on. You'll get there. All right, Ryan. Appreciate you holding this event. You guys are doing a great job. Douglas, I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me. Ryan just subscribed. Thanks for being a new subscriber. Douglas just subscribed. Thanks for being a new subscriber, Douglas. Mimi just subscribed. This is awesome. Thank you, guys. Thanks for being great subscribers. How the rollout of COVID-19 vaccination could help and hurt the U.S. housing market. This is really interesting, guys. The housing frenzy was a hallmark of the majority of 2020 is likely to die down. I don't think this really surprises anybody. We're going to settle somewhere between the pre-COVID and the post-COVID is basically what the chief economist from the National Association of Realtors is saying, which basically means if you take 2019, what happened, and you take 2020 and what happened, and you find yourself somewhere in the middle there, which is good for real estate investors because we're expecting continued appreciation. We're not expecting some bottom to fall out. There's a lot of YouTubers out there like, the end is coming, the crash is near. Nothing's showing that. Could something happen? Sure, but that's not anything, nothing's showing that. New starts of homes are there. The economy's on solid footing. The banks are in good shape. If you remember back to 2008, one of the biggest problems is the banks were in bad shape going into it. And so now they do what are called stress tests on the banks to make sure they could handle if there was a big stress. And even now where you've got some homeowners that aren't making payments, the government's stepping in and helping out with those payments to the banks. So it's not really having a major impact. And even if some of those homes came available on the market, there's enough demand and not enough supply, it could gobble some of those things up. So we're expecting 2021 to be a really good year of having some appreciation. So prices won't go down, but they wouldn't keep escalating as rapidly. But high demand for continued to keep prices high. Estimated, we're seeing about a 2 to 6% estimate in appreciation is basically what we're saying, according to Realtor.com, is what we're basically seeing. That's what I'm seeing in the general markets and my beliefs as well. All right, Tony, is Michigan a good market? Tony, everything's a good market. What you're looking for is within your city, within Michigan, the state, where's the best place for you to be investing there? The issue isn't having to find somewhere else to be investing. The issue is where in your area is the best place to be investing. I hope that helps. If not, we'll show some examples and hit me up with some more comments. Gene, already subscribed. Hampton Roads. Gene, thanks for being a subscriber. Really appreciate you. Mortgage rates could rise. This is the one thing to take into consideration right now. Interest rates are at all-time lows. The expectation from Realtor.com realtor.com is that rates will go up to about 3%, which is a substantial increase, but it doesn't have a huge detriment in the buying power, but it does have a detriment, and it's something that we need to be aware of. The thought for 2021 is bigger is better. Maybe bigger is better will replace location. The idea is people are looking for some bigger houses, some more sprawl. That's interesting. President-elect Biden plans first-time home buyers. So one of the things President Biden is suggesting is that homeowners, if you haven't owned a home in the last 3 years, that if you buy a house, you'll be considered a first-time home buyer, and whatever you put on that down payment, I think up to 3%, will be a tax credit, which basically means if you put $10,000 down on a house and you owed $10,000 in taxes, you would pay 0 taxes in his proposal. Now, this hasn't been approved or anything else, but it's something to be aware of. If you know anybody that's looking to become a first-time home buyer, this is something that's on the horizon to take in consideration. Now, there is some resistance to this. I am one of those resistance to this, and so is the National Association of Home Builders and the Realtor Association, because they're basically saying, hey, the problem is if you do that, it's going to take demand even higher, and it's going to make prices go higher, and we have a problem with affordability in this country right now for housing, so we've got to be concerned about that. If you do this, it's going to make things jump up. So that's something consideration. Roche says, can you text me that book name of How to Talk to People? Oh, on How to Talk to People, Roche, we're going to be showing you a link at the end. It's just a one-page script. It basically goes through questions you can ask. So there'll be a link at the end, and we will definitely post that for you. So you're going to enjoy it. It's just a one page. It's not necessarily how to talk to people. There is a great book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's a required reading that I think everyone should read. If you haven't read that, that's a great start. If you're looking for more substance, what I'm offering is basically questions to ask them. Ask this, ask this, ask this, ask this. So hopefully that will be of help to you on both fronts. Yoon, who is an economist for the Association of Realtors, predicts that home sales could be 20% higher in the third and fourth quarter of 2021 compared to the prior year, 2020. Additionally, he sees home sales rising more than 5%, possibly 10%. So he's saying 5 to 10. Somebody else is saying 2 to 6. Most economists are saying we're going to see some price rising as vaccines become available, possibly leading to faster job growth and favorable interest. He's thinking 3% interest rate, which is kind of in line with everything else. Among other things, Biden is likely to remove what's called the SALT cap. This limits on itemized deductions for home mortgage interest and state and local taxes enacted under President Trump. Since property taxes tend to be higher in suburban outside cities, the repeal of the SALT cap would benefit those who are already relocating to cities during the pandemic. So this is interesting. Keep an eye on it if these things happen. December data, because January is just barely getting in the books. The number crunchers haven't been able to crunch all those numbers yet. National inventory declined 39.6%, meaning there was 40%. So if there was 100,000 houses available in 2019, in 2020, there was only 60,000 houses available. So a big difference there. The inventory of newly listed homes declined by 0.8% nationally and grew by 7.6% in large metro areas. The December national median listing was 340, which was up 13.4% compared to the prior year, which basically means that if you bought a house for $100,000 in 2019 in December, in 2020 in December, it was worth $113,400. I hope that helps. Ryan, that's my problem. I got my first contract in a low-income area, so I backed out of the contract. Yeah, I mean, Ryan, I like to look at school reports, and there's a website, Good Schools. Let's just show you. I think it's called Good Schools. I'm in the film studio. I'm not in my Great Schools. I think this is it. This is a website called Great Schools. It's a free website, but one of the great things, Ryan, I don't know what your zip code is or where it was. Let's see here. Let's just do, where are you located? Let's just go Atlanta. Schools in Atlanta, Georgia. Let's just do that. Maybe that's going to do it for us. So this is one of the things I like to look at when I go into like an area. Okay. If the schools are horrible, I don't know, we got to zoom in a lot more, but if the schools are horrible, great school rating, school names, what you can do is you can say, hey, this is going to be an area that I know is going to be a problem for investing. I'm not doing it justice here because I'm just kind of doing this on the fly for Ryan because I like his name. And so basically what you can do in here is type in the zip code or type in the area. It'll tell you what the schools are and what the ratings are, 84088. Let me just do my zip code. That might be the easiest thing here. This is where our office is, 84088. So, you know, you've got some 5s, you've got some 4s. This kind of tells you where the different schools are and how those different schools are going. So one of the things I like to look at is the school ratings in the areas and then make determinations, because if all the schools are garbage, then that's probably not a great area to be investing in. Regardless, I also like to make sure that my resale price is going to be over about $75,000. Otherwise, I don't like to be investing in those areas. But in Investor's Edge, which I'll show you here in just a minute, it looks like I didn't get signed into this. It will actually show you what's going on with the area. And so I can show you some different analytics that can be really helpful for you in determining what area. And as a matter of fact, we're going to talk a little bit about that in one of the live casts as well. So I hope that's helpful, Ryan. Let's see. Let's keep rocking here. Okay, property finding tip. And this is exactly what I was just talking about a minute ago for Ryan. Let me grab another drink. Every single week we do a tip on finding properties, right? It's really, really helpful to find different ways on finding properties. But one of the things that people overlook is actually understanding market trends. See, if you don't know the market trends, then you're going to have problems being successful as a real estate investor. And this is where a lot of people give up, is they don't realize where to be fishing. So if you don't know the price changes, if you don't know the rental price changes, if you don't know if there's new listings or listing trends or sales data, number of pre-foreclosures, if you don't know the average of days on market, this can help you plan for a resale time frame. You know, how long is it going to take me to resell? It can also help us know if our property is taking longer. You know, average time in the area is 30 days and mine's taking 80 days. There's a problem here, which means my price is too high or my condition of the property is bad. Average monthly rent. This can help you know what a landlord should expect to get. If you're doing a wholesale type transactions, especially if you're wholesaling, you're going to get your best price wholesaling to a landlord than you are wholesaling to a fix and flipper by far. The reason is the landlord's going to take his money over time, where a fix and flipper needs to make his money up front and needs to make a bigger margin, whereas a landlord can expense that over time and he's planning on a longer term investment. We can estimate cash flows. This can help wholesalers that I talked about. This also can really help on a BRRRR deal. If you're not familiar with BRRRR, I've got a whole video on it, but the principle is buy, renovate, rent, and refinance. That's the whole concept with that. Or a rent-ready rehab, you know, where you're just going to do a rent-ready type rehab. So listing price versus sales price. What are things listing for versus what are they selling for? This can help us get a price, being wise with our price. And the days on market versus investors, this tells us exactly how much extra inventory there is versus how much opportunity is. We also like to look at home solds. It gives you an idea of the opportunity of what's actually selling. And if there's very few solds in the area, there may be a problem in the area or there may not be enough inventory. Understanding statistics and where you can help you determine, is there a market for it? Should I spend time trying to find homes in that area? Does it even make sense for me to be trying to find homes? A rough idea of what to expect in the values, an idea of how long it should take to resell my property, estimated rental returns, right? This can be so valuable. So I want to show you an example here. So let me just pull this over and we can just get rocking. So let's just take like Chicago, okay? Chicago. Do I have anybody from Chicago today? I usually have several. Okay, so in Chicago, One of the things that I can do is I can look in Investor's Edge, and I can come in here and I can say, hey, what are we looking for here in Chicago? One of the things I can do is come back here and look at my statistics, okay? What I like to do is I like to look at a 6-month statistic. That changes things a little bit. So one of the things I know here, in the last 30 days, prices have gone up 1.2%. In the last days, rental changes, rents have gone up 3.48%. This gives me an idea as a price per square foot. And if I look back January 20 to January 2021, average in all of Chicago, and you can do this by zip code if you just type in the zip code, I'm basically looking at $188 a square foot last year, and it's up to $197 a square foot. That gives you a rough idea of what the houses are worth. Can help you make some initial offers. Average days on the market right now in Chicago, 1 bedroom's taking 129 days to sell, and a 5 bedroom's taking 133 days to sell. So I need to plan on that when I'm on a resale. Average month's rent, this is going to be for your BRRRR deals and your landlords. 5 bedrooms is averaging $26.27. Now, if you put in a zip code, this is taking all of Chicago, so this isn't great data. If you put in a specific zip code in Chicago, it's going to give you more specialized data, which is exactly what you're going to look for. This shows you the foreclosure trend. Right now, there's 2157 in foreclosure. A year ago, there was 5247. Market trends, new listings, there's 12% less listings and 39% more closed sales. Listing trends, we're seeing home sales, less of them going. Average listing price looks like it went down just a hair, which doesn't make sense. There's probably, last 30 days. Let's go 6 months. That really changes a lot of stuff. Less properties, more on the list price, more on the square footage, more on the days on market. Let's go to 6 months on this. You got to change everything 6 months. And then look at your listing price versus sales price. You know, the average sale versus list price gives you some data on that as well. And then days on market versus inventory. You can see days on market versus inventory, we're seeing that just continue to go down like crazy. So that helps me with the analytics, which is really helpful. And one of the things you can do is actually just print this off. And as you print it off, you can look at your statistics, for your specific area. Now, Chicago's just huge. It's just ginormous. And so you really want to be doing this by zip code, but I'm doing this for informational purposes so you know where you want to be investing. It helps you make good decisions when you're actually doing the investing itself. I hope that's helpful. I've got a few comments. This is awesome. Oh, Jacqueline, that's an awesome website. Yeah, fantastic. Thank you. Check it out. It's called Investor's Edge. Let's see if you're a member. We've got you covered with that. Dan is in Texas. Thanks for being with us, Dan. Don Murphy T-shirt. I rehab my partner. I can tell you, my wife wouldn't like that T-shirt for sure. Don Murphy also coming at us with the T-shirt ideas. Okay, Don. 6 months for research and 30 days for properties pricing. 6 months for research and 30 days for property pricing. Not sure exactly what you mean there, Don. Please follow up with me. Put some more comments on there. Give me some more clarification about what you're talking about because I want to answer your question. Okay, let's bring this back over. So the point with all this, guys, is if we want to find good properties, we need to find where good properties are. And we need to be looking at what's happening in that area and knowing the statistics and helping us make informed decision as to where's the best place for us to be investing in the areas that we are using Investor's Edge, which we kind of just walked through. All right, guys, it's time for that main event, how to structure partner deals. If you've got questions on partnership deals, like it wasn't Ryan who had the question up here. Douglas, if you got a question on partnership deals like Douglas, now is the time to type it in the comments. Let me grab a drink and we're going to jump right into this partnership deals. All right. Ryan Brooks says, thanks. I'm on it now. Oh, you're welcome, Ryan. Thanks for being here. How to structure partner deals. Let's talk about this. What you're going to learn today is why you need a partner. We're going to talk about the different types of partnerships, the benefits of partnerships. We're going to get deep dive. So why would you need a business partner in real estate investing? One of the reasons is you have more money than time. I make a lot of money, but I don't have a lot of time or don't want to devote a lot of time. Okay, a part of that, if you make a lot of money, so you might be looking for some ways to have some tax deductions using real estate for that. That could be a huge motivation. You have time, but no money. It's the complete opposite. I can put in the time, but I don't have the cash to kind of get things rolling, which we typically say you need at least about $5,000 to get started. If you have bad credit, especially if you're wanting to get into any type of a long-term rental type situation. The other situation you get into a business partner is one partner has a skill set. That skill set could be like being a general contractor or a skill set in sales. I can go knock on doors and help buy some properties, and the other partner may be better at operations. Another partner might be better at being a general contractor. Lack of capital gets started, which kind of goes back to the more money than time. And then somebody to help with the workload. It may just be like, hey, let's get some help with the workload because we have a lot of this, and maybe we have full-time jobs as well. A common example of this is someone that can find properties and manage rehab but lacks the cash and credit. So maybe you're a general contractor, but you just don't have cash or credit to get going with this. So one of the things you could do is rather than just making your general contractor fees, you could say, I'll get the labor, just pay my guys labor. I'll make no profit on it, but I'll do a profit split, and you don't have to worry. This property is going to get done amazing, and it's going to help you sell it for more money, and we'll do a profit split. And then you've got someone with cash or credit but lacks the ability to find properties or has time. So you can have these guys working together. Partner one, here's an example, has bad credit. Partner one lacks capital. Partner one has time to go find these deals and can manage the rehab. Partner number two has good credit, has some capital, has some money, has not the time to find and manage the deals. So there's this compounding effect because the deal would not have ever happened had it not been the two got together. You see, 1 + 1 = 10 in this situation because alone they could not have gotten the deals done. A partnership can be deal specific, where you're partnering just on this one deal, or a partnership can be in a long-term situation where we're going to do this as a business together for a longer period of time. If we're talking about like a deal-specific partnership, each deal you determine the terms of how that deal will go. So you can say, hey, on this deal, I'm going to pay you this way, or we're going to do a profit split this way, or I'm going to pay you an interest rate, or we're going to come up with some other creative way of how payment works. That can be on a deal-by-deal basis. A long-term situation starts a company and outlines the terms and roles and responsibility. And typically in this arrangement, there's some type of a profit split above and beyond the cost. This is how we dictate how much that profit is going to be. Ways to structure partnerships. There's lots of ways to structure partnerships. It can be done through debt or it can be done through equity. Let's talk about what each one of these are. When we're talking about debt, what we're saying is, you give me money and I agree to pay you back on a set term plus amount of interest. Give me $50,000. I'll pay you back the $50,000 plus a 10% interest. Now you may want to negotiate terms on this. I will pay you once I sell the property, or I will pay you monthly when I get the money, or I will pay you quarterly. But the debt idea is I am liable to pay back that money. I've agreed upon the terms of what it will be, and I've agreed on some type of payment arrangement. That's what we're talking about with debt. I recommend negotiating getting paid when you sell the property if you're going to go this way with partners and using debt. This does have more risk to you, but you can get more reward, meaning rather than giving up a percentage of the profit like you would do in equity, you're only giving up a set amount, which is determined by that interest rate, and you determine the payment schedule as how that's going to happen. This typically could be a rate anywhere from 5 to 25%. It just depends on the deal and the person and what they're looking for. But doing a debt type deal can make sense. And especially right now where the banks are paying nothing. And so if you've got money, CDs and bonds aren't paying much. So you're saying, hey, if you've got your money sitting there, why don't you give it to me? I can make you a better return on it. The other way that you can do this is through equity. Okay. And this is partner puts up some money. Now, with both of these, I want to clarify, you can use these in combination with getting a hard money loan. So you may say, we can get a loan for 120, but we need 150 to make the whole deal work for whatever reason. This other $30,000 could come through a partnership deal in working with a partner. And the partner doesn't necessarily need to have the money. The partner can have good credit and then go get a line of credit or credit card finance in order for them to then come up with the additional cash. And then that cash can be then used on the deal. And then with that, they can be an equity or a debt partner, depending upon how you want to structure that. And that's all what we're talking about here. So a partner puts up some money in an equity type deal, and they would get a percentage of profit on the deal. This could be 10%, 20%, 50%. It really just depends on the deal that you're trying to do. And also depends on if it's a long-term or a short-term partnership. Is it deal specific? You may take less risks. This is less risky. I think that's really the important thing, because if they lose money, you are not required to pay them back in this type of scenario. You're saying, hey, put up your money and you'll be first to get paid. You put up 40 grand, you'll get your $40,000 back first, and then we'll do a profit split after that. But in the event that you're not able to pay even the initial, you don't have a liability, an IOU later to them where you have to pay them for the rest of your life. So you give up a lot more, they get a lot more, but they take on more risk. So I hope that this is really helpful in all of this when we're talking about kind of an equity type partnership. Partners can bring the cash, or they can bring that credit and turn it into cash, as we've been talking about, especially using credit card finance, using lines of credit. This is a big one, a second loan on a home or a first loan on a home where they get a line of credit on their house. Another one that's easily overlooked is retirement accounts with 401ks. And you can actually take a loan against that, or you can self-direct it and actually do investing using that. And also just cash in the bank account that's doing nothing, or CDs or bonds, as we talked about earlier. A few benefits of a partnership: this can lower your overall cost of funds. So, for example, if you have a partner that has $50,000 and you can get your partner to give you that money at 5% interest versus 15% interest from a hard money lender, then you're money ahead. And it also makes it easier to get a loan from a hard money lender because you're lowering their risk. And so they're going to have an easier time getting you approved to do the transaction. Remember, hard money lenders look on stuff on a deal by deal basis. If they have good credit, it may be that you get better terms on the financing. The other great thing about a partnership is you can brainstorm, you can bounce ideas, you have somebody else, so you're not alone in this venture. Most people partner due to time, or they due to money or credit, experience. Those are some of the things. Another great partnership option that you should be thinking about is partnering with somebody that has construction experience. So maybe you have the money and the ability to find, but you want to partner with somebody that will be general contractor, especially right now where getting good contractors is hard. It's like, hey, I'll give you the money, I'll do this, you make sure it happens, and we'll do a split. You don't get paid anything for your contractor services. You can pay your labor, you can pay your guys, but you can't make money. We'll give you money for materials. And then it's really worth it to them to make more money than they would in a contractor, and it may be worth it to you because you don't have to worry about the labor shortages or anything else, and you know the quality workmanship is going to be there to get you the best resale possible. And maybe a contractor doesn't cost no money, but he gets maybe 30% of the deal, right? So I'll give you 30% of the profit, and you don't get any of your regular costs as a general contractor. So that's something to really be taking into consideration. If you've got interest in this or want some help on any way, check out our complete system. It takes brand new investors or investors that are having some experience but want some more help through flipping their first home. It's called the Find, Fund, Flip system. We have dozens of hours of training. We have deal finding software, access to 100% financing. Check it out at dohardmoney.com/get started. And I'm going to have John post that in here as well. dohardmoney.com/get started. You can click on that link and get some more information on our Find, Fund, Flip system. All right. Got a couple of things. Oh, Jonathan, 6 months. Yes, I like to look at 6 months on a trend line. You could look at 3 months, but I like to look at 6 months depending upon what I'm looking at. But I typically do 6. Jacqueline says, great information on partnerships. I just learned a lot. Thank you, Jacqueline. You're very welcome. Glad you're learning. Ryan, what's the best way to find business partners? Social media? That's a great question, Ryan. I think the very best place for you to find business partners is friends and family. The idea with that is you're saying, hey, who has something that I need, and what do I have that they can get? So I think the best thing is friends and family, and then letting your friends and family talk with their network as well. But one of the things you can do is you can go after a cash buyers list, people that pay cash for properties, and then you can call them. You can wholesale properties to them, or you could ask them to partner with you. I think that's a lot better than social media because you can just find out cash buyers in the area and you can market them to them directly. With our Investors Edge software, you can actually do that, where you can come in. Let's just do this. Let me just do my zip code, unless somebody's got a zip code they want to do. And then we can do ownership information. I'm trying to remember where. Purchase. Seller carrybacks, free and clear, cash buyers included. So I can come in here and just look at cash buyers, and then I can go after this cash buyer and say, hey, you bought a property. Would you have interest in other properties? They're probably going to say yes, and then you would pitch a partnership deal to them. Once you know who they are, you can come here and you can call them. You can do a skip trace, and for 12 cents, you can skip trace and then give them a call. Or you can actually do an email or a postcard campaign, which you'd probably, I don't know if we have any specific postcards for, most of these are cash offers. So you could come in here and grab a postcard and send a postcard out to them with any of these that are preset, and our members get those included with our package. So the other thing is, I talked about this, the motivated seller sheet. Who was it that was asking about this? I think it was Roche. She wanted to get our motivated seller sheet. So go to dohardmoney.com/motivated-seller-sheet. That's the kind of the script, the template that you want to use to fill out some information. So check that out as well. Jonathan says, would you suggest Meetup for networking? Sure, absolutely. Networking is a great way to do that. Friends and family is typically the easiest. Networking can be really good, but you've got to know it takes time. And then doing some actual marketing to some cash buyers lists and talking to them can be a great way to help you finding partnership type deals. So if you have enjoyed this, please hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, the bell notification, and please bring somebody else next week because we're here same time, same place. Future topics. Did I skip a slide? No, okay. I think we're there. Okay, I wanted to make sure we had our winner slide coming up here. Future topics. What would you like to hear for future live casts? Here's a few ideas. Type in the comments now or on the recorded video what you would like to see for future topics that could be very helpful to you. Type that in the comments. Let me know. These are just some ideas for future stuff, but I really want to know what's going to help you get you to the next level. If you've enjoyed what you've heard today, please also check out my podcast called Income Hacker, the Income Hacker Podcast. Share the live cast on YouTube as well and check out my podcast. If you haven't already, grab that motivated seller sheet, dohardmoney.com/motivated-seller-sheet. Absolutely for free. I've been developing that over the last 20 years. All right, guys, it is time for our giveaway. We'll be sending this to you. We've got our mask as well as we've got our I Made It Through Rehab shirt. We're going to be sending it out. We'll be sending that out. So our winner for the week, and please give a big round of applause and some accolades to our winner for the week. This is last week's winner. If you want to be next week's winner and you want to win our beanie, our cool DHM beanie, is super awesome, as well as our beautiful, wonderful scarf coming your direction. It's super soft. put some comments in. Put some comments on the recorded video. But this is for last week's winner. Last week's winner is Roche Sims. Roche, I think you're on the call, the live cast right now, aren't you? Roche, you are on. Yes, Atlanta, Georgia is here. Roche, congratulations. Please, everybody, give Roche a huge congratulations. While we're doing that, Jonathan said, would you suggest me? Okay, we talked about that. Gene says cash flow. Great topic. Excuse me. Topic on cash flow. We can put that in our list of things we're working on. Jonathan says passive income strategies, which funny enough is kind of like cash flow as well. So some passive income strategies. Congratulations out to Roche. Thank you for your participation last week. Roche, for you to claim, email support@dohardmoney.com. Type in the comment, the subject, you're the shirt winner. Make sure you give me your name, your mailing address, your cell phone number, what shirt size you want. And then we'll send you out a free t-shirt as being our winner of the week. So please send that over to us and we will get it out to you. If you haven't already, take a look at that motivated seller sheet. I've put the link in there as well. It's on the screen, dohardmoney.com/motivated-seller-sheet. Jacqueline says, nice marketing gear. Jacqueline, you're new, so you probably haven't seen this one either. This is another shirt we give away. This is the I Flippin' Did It shirt with our DHM logo on the back, which is also a super nice one. And Jacqueline, be here next week. Leave some comments on the recorded video, share it with some friends, and who knows, you may be our next winner of the week for next week. Big congratulations to Roche for being our winner. Next week, all those that participated, we will find out who the winner is next week for our giveaway that will be giving away the beanie. So join us next week, next Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern time, so you can find out who that winner is, and you can be with us. If you haven't already, check out the dohardmoney.com motivated seller sheet. And if you have some interest in working with us, check out dohardmoney.com/get started for our Find Fund Flip system. Otherwise, guys and gals, thank you for being with me. Oh, Jacqueline is on it. Thank you for being with me today. I appreciate your time. If you've enjoyed this, please put some comments on the recorded video and tell somebody else about it. Make sure that you subscribe